So I don't know how this happened, but I was scrolling Instagram. I'm on vacation in Miami Beach, so I really am free to do whatever I want. So there's that. And I came across this Amazon Prime trailer for A Cursed Man. And it came out a few months ago. And yo, like, my pure reaction was, is you dumb? So this guy, his name is Liam. He is an American Caucasian white guy from, the US. He appears to be pretty privileged. And when I say that, I'm not saying it from like necessarily my perspective, but I'll tell you why in a minute. He comes from a pretty privileged situation. His career is doing well. He's got a family and he doesn't really have any, like, he's normal. He might go through things, but he doesn't have any much to complain about except, I guess, boredom, motherfucking boredom. And I really can't hold back my language in this one. So if cursing ain't for you, please forgive me, because I'm not in the mood to stay censored. Like, you just have to get my unfiltered thoughts on this while I'm here. Liam decided that he wanted to know if magic was real. So he paid a whole bunch of colored and indigenous and black and brown folk to put baneful energy on him and to curse him. Now, he did talk to some white people. Griffin said of the said tradition was there. And according to the documentary, it said he was pagan and he has his own like lineage and magics. He's cool. Like, I have no beef with him. And I have no beef with like diversity. I'm cool with that. But the way certain things were portrayed, I'll have to get into that too, because it wasn't me who noticed it. It was somebody else. But once it was noticed, it was like, oh, wow, I see how people can see that. But basically, Liam starts talking to the pagans, and the pagans are like, honey, we could just like curse you with stupidity, but you seem to have that figured out. And he's just like, no, like, I'm just curious. Like, I want to know if, curses are real and if magic is real. And I feel like basically he tells everybody, no matter what, he needs something bad to happen because maybe it will be believable more. So then he goes and he speaks with a couple of black people. I don't know everybody's name, but I know Lilith Dorsey. He speaks with her. I don't remember too much about what she says. What she says is credible, it's rich, it's beautiful, but she doesn't do any rituals on him, so I don't really remember too much after that. Then he speaks to a guy who is a voodoo doctor, and low-key, the guy is looking at him, and he's like, I'm talking like an evangelical right now, but bruh, like, you're like, why are you doing this? And he basically tells him, as a black man in America, I don't think you need to be doing this. I think you need to respect how good you have it, because, like, not for nothing, you kind of privileged. This is kind of entitled of you. I deal with people who have real problems. I deal with people who are cursed. Why are you asking for this? Why won't you just ask for a miracle and a blessing? And again, homeboy's perspective is, if something bad happens to me, then maybe it would be more believable. And I'm just like, So the dude is like, listen, if this mofo die, don't call me at 2 a.m. and talk about this. He died. He did. I'm not trying to hear nothing. And then he does his baneful work. He does what he allows us to see on camera. That wasn't enough for this boy. He went to St. Elias in New Orleans. And that's where it got kind of like, yeah, like, if you're in an edible friendly environment legally, this is good with edibles. Otherwise, have ashwagandha or a mocktail, do what you can. But basically, he's looking at him like, nigga, you crazy. Like, You crazy, but I love it. And he tells him to his face, like, that's courageous and stupid, and I'm here for it. Let's, like, if, hey, well, he just seems to be like, you know what? If you want to be a lick, I'll let you be a lick. But you know, like, you asking for something crazy, right? Like, this is crazy. Dude is like, yeah, I know. I just want to see. So he does his ritual. He's using his ritual, and he's using the Psalms. So he's basically bringing, like, biblical Most High God, Abrahamic God into this. And he's telling God, like, yeah, go ahead and smite his knees and do this and do that. I forgot what psalm it was, but like, or verse it is, but it's a if it's not a psalm, it is a verse. But he was literally reading verses, and while he was like binding whatever he was binding, gives the dude an amulet or a talisman, tells him to never take it off if you really want to see what happens. And then, as if that's not enough, goes to India. And then he goes and he gets a dark ritual done with Chinnamasta. And I honestly had never heard of this deity before, but she's supposed to be like the fierce big sister or fierce sister, if not big sister, of Kali. I do not know. Please do not attack me if I do not know. I'm sorry. But, you know, the guy is telling him, like, this is not the type of goddess you play with. Like, she'll sever your head. But metaphorically speaking, and actually as she's depicted, her head is severed. She cut her own head off. Don't remember this. Put it like this. She has a lot of powerful symbology and representation, including that of erotic energy, sexual energy, death, birth, and like some other stuff. So the dude is with a shaman, and the shaman's like, all right, like, I don't know why you're asking for this, but okay. So they do the ritual, and really all I can tell you, because this is full of spoilers, by the way, if you don't like spoilers, oh well. Basically, instead of getting this evil energy bestowed upon him, Chinnamasta actually gives him like a divine, miraculous, not miraculous, but like she blesses his energy, because I guess she's noticing that he doesn't mean harm. He might be a little naive, but she don't need to harm him to interact with him, but she'll give him a peaceful vibe. So for me, I read that as, you know, just because you're asking for something from a spirit doesn't mean that you'll always get it. They'll probably give you what you need, not what you want. And sometimes that can be a good thing. You might need something better than you think you should get. And in this case, you know, everybody was saying, why not ask for blessings? You're already a blessed person. Like, your energy in your life is good. Why would you disturb that? And he's just like, I don't know. I'm just trying to fuck around and find out. And I'm just like, all right, bro. So he leaves down the mountain, and I guess he doesn't want this divine energy. So he goes to Mexico, and he goes to Hermano Juan. And I respect the shit out of Hermano Juan. Pero the dude, he asked Hermano Juan, oh yeah, let's do a pact with Satan. And I wanted Satan to like fuck my life up. And he's just like telling him, when I met Satan, as in him, he's like, when I met him, I was drinking. I had a drinking problem. From when I was 13 to when I was 17, I had a very bad drinking problem. And Satan delivered me from my drinking problem. He can help you with many things. Like everybody else, he's telling him, like, bro, we can ask, but like, I don't know him to be this evil person that wants to do evil things just because, like, what? So they do like some rituals, and they genuinely call on the Dark Lord to do what it is that this man is asking to do. But even Hermano Juan is like, yo, Lord, my Lord, I really don't understand why he's asking for this. But please, like, search his heart and know that he is pure and he is sincere. And then they do a blood ritual. So he did a binding ritual to ask for this. And he basically was like, yeah, we're doing, the man wrote to him and asked him to do, you know what I'm saying? So, you have to, like, So at that point, I'm like, has he not had enough? So yeah, after that, he stops his world tour of self-sabotage. And, he goes on a hike or a bike. I don't know what. He's like outside doing something in like nature, right? And he like falls and he like bangs up his knee and has to get stitches and his knee hurts for weeks or whatever. And all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I thought about when Son Elias like was using Bible verses telling the Lord to like smite my knee. And I just can't believe that. So basically, he's like able to correlate that may have been a result of what happened, but he still doesn't know if magic exists. On top of this, he admits that as he's doing all of this negative work, he's having a hard time sleeping. His dreams have been affected. He's been seeing dark and horrible things in his dreams. When he wakes up, there's this sense of dread and anxiety, like something bad is going to happen, and that he has to watch himself at every corner. And people are saying to him, like, your mind is also more than enough to convince you that you're cursed. Like, the fact that you want to be cursed will set it in motion. You don't have to pay for a curse. It's free. But why would you do that? But nah, he had the money to throw away to get, cursed out, I guess. So that's what he wanted. So he's correlating these effects. And then he's talking to his wife. And his wife, honestly, she's just like mad chill. Like not really like, she's just like, she kind of sounds like an interviewer. She's like, so da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And it's just like, they'll have this basic convo and it's chill. I have no complaints on it. But he's like, he's finally correlating like, oh, maybe this stuff is happening because of the stuff I asked for. And then I forget when, where, or why. But at some point, he decides to go back to Griffin Said and the Pagans. And they basically he tells them about everything that happened. Everything. And they basically do a pagan ritual to cleanse him and cut the cords and the pacts. And they do understand that the pact that he did with the blood may not be as easy as to unbind as everything else that this man's been doing. So with that being said, all of the magical stuff ends with them cleansing him until he feels like it is done, it is over. And then one of his lingering sub-arcs for this was like, oh, maybe if something bad happens to my health, like I get a cancer diagnosis, magic will also be real because I'm otherwise healthy. So after all of this is done, he basically gets a cancer screen and like, spoiler alert, you don't have shit because my nigga, you done cleansed it off by now if it was there. And honestly, I think that a lot of the spirits you summon was like, nigga, please, it just lets you gash your knee and have nightmares and headaches because they wasn't finna waste their energy on that shit. Like, the fuck? Like, there are very, very sadistic, evil, there's things out there that are more important to use that negative, infinite, terroristic energy on than a curious man who has a good heart, even if it's like, well, why? So now the criticisms, and these are not like, these are my criticisms, but it was pointed out to me through like the nuance of checking my, is this motherfucker serious meter against the internet after I watched that shit. He went to all of these indigenous, colored, and black folk. He went around the world and he got cursed by everybody that was like from all over. And that's fine. But when it was time to get cleaned up, he went to the pagans. Why not go back to the people that you paid to fuck you up? One, so that they know that they worked. And two, because they would probably know how to end it or reverse it for you. Like, for real. Why? Like, If my iPhone breaks, I'm not going to Google to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, fix my iPhone, Apple. I bought it from you, so like I gotta pay you to help me fix it. Google got Android. They don't know nothing. So that was one criticism for me. It was like there was that, but for other people it was like, how dare he go to all of these colored people and use their traditions and exploit them, but then run to his for exoticism, and then he runs to the white savior magic. And I'm like, I'm not finna get into all of that. Like, I could see that, I guess. But at the end of the day, my question was, why not, in my head, it would just make more sense to contact the people that you worked with and see if there's something you could do to reverse it if you wanted to end it. Because these are the same people that were begging you not to do it in the first place. So maybe there was some care in their heart for them to not do you as bad as you wanted to be done. Because let me tell you, there are people who think that their karma is fine, and then things happen and their life explodes and you're like, oh wow. And as bad as you may feel for some people, there are some details that make you realize, oh, I'm better off being far the hell away from you. So if somebody's energy really doesn't deserve to be destroyed and beaten apart, I personally feel like there's really not much that's going to happen, because you're not meant to get your ass whooped. You're a good person, dude. Like, nobody wants to do that. There's no reason to hate this dude. Like, he was maybe lovably stupid to me after a while. Like, I wanted to be like, please stop. But then the curious, if you want to be stupid and do this, then fuck it, I'm gonna sit in bed and laugh. It was the disbelief for me. Like, this is how you want to test stuff? Nah. So that was the critique and criticism. It was like, for me, the criticism was, go back to the original source. And for others, it was like, how dare he go around the world and exploit other cultures' magic and use it as content, and then just go get a ritual. But here's the thing. If it worked, it worked. So nothing against that. But I feel like you should have had enough money for everybody to cleanse you, in addition to Griffin said. Because Griffin said had magic. They did a ritual on him as well. I forgot. Yes, they did a ritual on him as well. So why only go to them at the beginning and the end when you could have closed all of them bookends with them other people like that? I don't know. But that's just, again, my way of looking at things. Just mine. The other critique, I think that he should maybe counter this with a part 2. And maybe in the part 2, he could do more stupid shit and I could watch. I don't know. Or he could like, I don't know, go do some miracle magic or some shit. Or dig deeper. But I will say, like, as many spoilers as I gave, there's a lot of pieces that, if this interested you enough and you want to be entertained while you watch this, you could watch The Goofy Mess on Amazon Prime. And let me know what you think, because, like, I don't know, like, I think I'm gonna buy it so that I could watch it every time I want to like, it's like, I'm sorry, just me knowing better than to fuck with entities that, like, I don't know, like, hey, I want you to prove that you're real. Can you fuck my life up? Like, I don't know, like, something about that is comedically goofy, but I'm glad that nothing super, super bad happened to him regardless. And that's why I think out of everybody in this film, the first black guy whose name I can't mention, who told him, like, don't call me at 2 a.m, but especially Sen Elias, I think those were some of my favorite people in that documentary, because it was like, it was like their faces were speaking a code. You could see it in their face, like, what? Fam, is you serious? Okay, cool. This must be a blessing or a lick from the ancestors. That's how Sen Elias looked. He looked like, oh, you want me to fuck you up? I've been waiting for somebody like you to walk through my door. Come on. You crazy, but I'm gonna do it. And the other one was like, bro, like, I don't want to be responsible for something happening to this dude, knowing that nothing needs to happen to this dude. So, I don't know. I'm going to stop there because, like, I don't know. Just please watch it.